Us streaming, and my guest is here. It is my pleasure to welcome the Deputy Italian Ambassador, Lorenza Gambacorta. Welcome to Double O Direct.
Buon pomeriggio, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
We start with some Italian class.
Poco, sì. So a shout out actually to the Italian Institute of Culture. They do have online classes. I studied my Italian there. Tanti, 20 anni fa.
So many years ago, but now everybody who is interested in learning Italian has an option. We are starting online classes for now.
Yes.
But we hope that with the recovery of the from the pandemic, we can also have the physical ones.
Yes.
But at the moment, we are online. So if somebody is interested, can also check our Institute for Culture website, and they will find all the information.
It was a very, very, very pleasurable experience, only surpassed by being able to buy shoes, scarpe, and bags, borse, actually in Italy, let me tell you. So let me tell us first, who is Lorenza Gambacorta?
As you said, I am the Deputy Ambassador of Italy here. I have just arrived in Kenya in November, so I'm quite new. I was before in Uganda serving there in the same position. I come from Sicily, the south of Italy. I saw some weird comment online. So please, Sicily is not mafia at all. It's a very beautiful place.
Yes.
It's a very touristic island and rich in culture, nature, very good food. And people is so welcoming that we are famous worldwide for our touristic sector is very, very good quality.
Yes.
Then I study international relation and diplomacy. Also, I took my master on that topic in Spain, and then I joined the diplomatic service. First, I worked for the European Union, and after I joined the Italian Ministry for Foreign Affairs, and then I immediately left for abroad. So
yes.
I lived in many countries.
Yes.
I love my job.
Yes.
Also because of that, because you have different experience, you can meet many people, interesting cultures. I like also the trade part of also supporting enterprise and business relations, and of course cultural and also civilian cooperation activities. Also, this is my background.
If you were to list an experience in your diplomatic career that really stands out for you, or one or two, I know because there have probably been many, what comes to mind? The reason you say, this is why I became a diplomat.
Okay, in what I do, of course, there is one side that is the political side that you need always to bear in mind. You are here to strengthen the relation between the two countries, here or in the country you are serving for. But I try always to bear in mind who I am and from where I come, and especially the people side. I really like to always remember that we are here for our people, but also for the people of our hosting countries. So, of course, this will give, and I like, as you say, majority of my time I spend in the office, so there is also, unfortunately, a bureaucratic side, be a deputy or responsible for a specific sector. And this administrative side really sometimes tires you, but then you go, for example, in a meeting or to inaugurate a project, or you meet local people, and then you get immediately refreshed and energy is back. So you start again with many projects. I really like this job because of that you can also bring a bit of you inside what you are doing, and give a special touch, a personal touch. Of course, we are when you work at the ministry, of course, there is a hierarchy.
Yes.
That you need to follow. You have instruction. So sometimes you don't agree with those instructions, but okay, you follow that. But as I said, the contact with people help you a lot to refresh, and also bring another perspective to your work and what you were thinking to do, planning, programming. So definitely, and social media help us also with that, because people can interact much easier. We don't need only to meet physically
Yes.
in a meeting or during a conference, whatever. We really can interact also through those channels, and
Yes.
also see a different side, no? Because in social media, normally you always put your best,
Yes, always.
always your best side, no,
True, true.
of your work, of whatever you are doing. But really, this is what I like.
First impression, you've just come to Kenya. Is it as you were briefed? Was the brief accurate when you were still in Uganda? You didn't have a stint in Rome before coming to Kenya. You came
No,
straight from Kampala
From
here.
Kampala.
So when you got that docket and they're like, okay, this is Kenya, this is where you're going. Is it as explained?
Kenya is a beautiful country, but I was here already some years ago for when I was working for the European Union.
Yes.
I was in charge of a program for Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific. So I traveled here many times. So it was not a closed box, let's say.
Yes.
So I had but of course, the country has changed so much, and Nairobi is really a vibrant city. Already I got that impression when I came the first time, and now I'm definitely, yes, it's a very vibrant, modern, and really time here is passing very fast.
So under your office, under the office of the deputy ambassador, what kind of subjects do you cover? What do you have under your plate?
If I can say, I do everything.
I knew it.
This would
I
be.
knew it. I knew it. I told His Excellency, I knew it. She does
No,
everything.
of course, we share the task with the ambassador.
Yes.
He is the man responsible for our mission here.
Yes.
And I have also another colleague. I am the only woman, with the diplomatic career at the embassy. Then we have, of course, other administrative colleagues. So we share the task among us, and of course, when the ambassador is not here, you oversee everything.
Yes.
And but it's interesting when you serve in such medium-sized embassies, because you can really deal with many aspects that, from one side, can be very hectic because you are busy with many files, but at the same time, it give you a very inclusive and 360-degree picture of the country where you are. So this I like.
We are in an election year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow Italian politics closely at all, but you seem to have very interesting politics and very interesting elections. So from what you've witnessed so far, what comments do you have?
Yes, politics in Italy is quite interesting, also because in the last years we didn't vote. So we have a different system.
Yes.
So we have a parliamentary system, so we don't elect our prime minister directly, but it's the parliament, so our representative, who then elects the prime minister. Then in a difficult times, so when the majority is not there, and this was the case for the last governments, then of course you have a change, but that change not necessarily bring election in. So the president of the republic can also charge personality
Yes.
to shape a new government, of course, then with the green light from the parliament. And this is what happened in the last years. So yes, it's a bit different. Yes, at the moment is different, but you will have elections soon. So I invite people to join, because vote is a right. Also, from the other side, is also an obligation, because I always say that if you don't vote, then it's very difficult to complain, because I found that is not correct, because you should anyway participate with your decision, with your vote, and bring your voice inside politics, especially women. It's really key for the development of society.
I'm glad that you've mentioned women. What are your I should say first impressions, because you just got here in November, right? First impressions of women in leadership. It doesn't have to be government, but the ones that you've been meeting through different projects, through different activities, private sector as well, maybe even development sector. Any stand to mind particularly, and what has been your impression?
From November, I must say, I met so many interesting women. African women are very strong, and but I must say I feel also a lot of solidarity with them. You know, the topics and the problems are the same. The challenges that we are facing, I think some are really common. Other, of course, are more specific by society, but the general feeling is we have a lot of commonalities together. I met very many people, many women, and but I was very impressed by the story of one of do you know? I guess you know her, is Vangu Kanja from the Vangu Kanja Foundation. Her personal story is incredible, but what she's doing with the foundation now, it's really supporting women that were victims of violence, and violence can be cross-cutting. Let's say, it's not just physical violence, but can be also psychological violence, aggressions, etc. Physical, unfortunately, physical aggression. And so we are supporting, with the Italian cooperation, is supporting several projects in that specific sector, and we are pioneer and leader in a general level against, for example, in the battle against female mutilation.
Yes.
And so in here, when I met her, she really gave me so much energy, transmit really a very positive approach to life that I was very impressed, because passing through that story. So for this, our ambassador decided to propose her for an award that our President of the Republic every year can give to some personalities that has some specific they did something special,
Yes.
no? And so this year in March we have awarded her with this special recognition from our President of the Republic, and it was quite emotional, I must say. So this is one of the. Then I met also women in the police. Women that really every day they do a great job, not only for their family, but especially for the society. So
I want to ask, before we go into a break, are there any specific gaps? I know that you get this a lot, right? Between the lives, and not just about poverty, not just about development, not just about that, but that you recognize as gaps from where you come from in Sicily, in Italy, and what you've been experiencing, because now you've had quite a bit of experience in Africa, having worked here in the EU, having been a deputy head of mission in Kampala, and now here. What can you say? We're still wanting to bridge that gap. Where is that gap?
As I said, the gap sometimes is very common. So gap in salary, in payments, gap in accessing, especially the scientifics, no?
Yes.
Studies, because sometimes women think that some jobs or some university career are not for them.
Yes.
Or of course gap in business. But what I see here, there are a lot of women that are entrepreneurs. Maybe small size entrepreneur, but this bring also this sustain a family, so bring also development to their local community,
Yes.
etc. So for this year also we have launched a digital campaign for support with the occasion the 8th of March for supporting women to believe in what they can be. So the title of the campaign was "Think Magic, Be You."
Yes.
And we proposed stories of Kenyan women that had an experience in Italy or contact with Italy, and that helped them to grow So we had an engineer, for example, in the space industry.
Yes.
That is quite uncommon.
Yes.
Then another Kenyan woman that had a degree from an Italian university in Pavia in biotechnologies.
Yes.
Then we have also one entrepreneur of one of the projects that we are funding with the Italian cooperation. And then we had a runner, a marathon
Yes.
lady that she broke a record 2 years ago, I think. So she's trained by an Italian coach. Yes.
Wonderful.
So with that, we wanted to show that you can do whatever you want.
I love it. I love it. More with the Italian Deputy Ambassador Lorenza Gambacorta shortly.
Spice.
This is Double O Direct every Saturday from 10 a.m. Woman host, woman guest, songs by women. Got some Deborah Cox coming up, but joining me right now, Deputy Italian Ambassador Lorenza Gambacorta. And if you didn't know, she was previously in Kampala. She just checked into Kenya and she's loving it. Am I right?
Yes.
So give me a brief on some of the collaborative efforts or some of the projects that Italy and Kenya are involved in.
Okay, of course, we have different projects in many sectors, but I can give you a highlights. For example, in the health sector,
Yes.
We recently signed an MOU and we are collaborating in a lot of projects to give more access and to quality service in the health sector to Kenyan. So this is one, and specialized hospital, for example. Then, of course, trade. We had recently a delegation from Kenyan entrepreneur visiting Italy at one of the major fair for food products, for agricultural products, that is McFruit. A delegation led by the Cass, the Deputy Minister for Trade, was in Italy, and of course they start new relation, new business. Also, Italian entrepreneurs, they came here for the ProPac fair that was recently hosted here in Nairobi.
Yes.
So you see, after COVID, we are restarting also this collaboration. Then, of course, the touristic sector. We are manning the cost, and there are a lot of our entrepreneurs that are that they have hotel. They are bringing tourists to Kenya, and I'm happy that now restrictions are gone.
Yes.
So of course, touristic flow can restart. Yes, resume. We were looking for that because it had a lot of impact on the economy for both sides. So these are then I already mentioned the work we are doing in the women sector, women protection, and of course the environmental protection. Also, we were co-chairing on the COP26 together with the UK, and we brought, for example, many youth to one of our main events that was held in Milan. About environmental, what we can do for the environment and to be greener. And also this is one of the main sectoral investments here. So green economy and sustainable economy.
You mentioned that health is very important, one of the key projects that Italy is working with Kenya on. And I wanted to talk to you about education because I remember a lady, young girl at that time, going to Italy to study medicine. And one of the restrictions, or one of the challenges, I should say, not really a restriction, is the language. Let me just tell people right now, learning Italian is not only possible, but it's one of the easiest Romance languages to learn. So tell me about the education sector in Italy, especially for higher education, university. Is it very little pay? Is it free? Is the only thing you'll have to take care of, for example, your accommodation and things like that? Because I believe there are opportunities for Kenyans to study in Italy.
Yes, of course. We have the first university in the world. It was University of Bologna. So of course our university sector is of very high quality and is very high rank in this top ranked university. The majority of good universities in Italy are public. So normally we don't really study in private university. Okay, we have some that are of course very good, but generally you go to study to public school and public university. The level is very very high, and of course for Kenyan. The access to the university is depending on the discipline. Some are restricted, so you need to do a entry test. Other are more free. So you just need to enroll to a university and then you can study that specific topic. Our government is also offering scholarship. So if you are interested, you can go on our website, or there is a specific website from our Minister of Foreign Affairs that is studyinitaly.com. So if you Google study in Italy, you will get all the info, also the logistic aspect. Then normally the scholarship can cover the tuition fees and some monthly allowance for you to live in Italy. I recommend to first check what is your dream, in the sense what you would like to study, and then you choose the university. As I say, they are spread along all our territory, so you can go to the north, to the south, to the center, that you get very very high level quality university. So that, of course, Rome and Milan are the most, and Bologna, because of the history, the most attractive city. But we have also, for polytechnical studies, we have Turin in the northwest, and then diplomacy, if you want to study diplomacy also, in the northeast. Gorizia, you have very, depending on the topic, some universities are more specialized in one and the best in one topic than in another. So depending, for example, languages is very one of our best university, especially for Oriental language, is Naples.
Yes.
So is in Naples, then you have a good choice. So I invite you to go to the website and
Yes.
check what you would like to study.
One of the questions I got is the process of exportation of goods, because of course we're quite an agricultural country. And you mentioned that the CS was also on a trade mission, and he visited Italy recently and trying to develop that. So as a farmer, as an exporter, can you briefly say what is the step? If I'm looking, let's say I'm growing some fantastic avocados, I have a couple of hectares of avocado trees and I'd like to export them to Italy, what should be my first step? Where should I go?
So first of all, you need to get a certification, because to get to the market, of course, is a European market. So there are some standards that you need to meet, and then is the entry point. Apart of all, beside that, you have all this business plan and packaging that you need to also bear in mind. But we have our trade agency.
Yes.
It's also providing some programs for also education, in the sense how to export to the Italian market and the European market, for example. So we have launched some pilot project also in really what I need to do, business to help to support enterprise with business plan. We have here also some incubators for local startupper. So this is quite a la mode, no? So
Yes.
for the youth that would like to be employed in this, or they are employed in this sector, for example, we have an incubator in Karen, managed by the Foundation E for Impact. They have the sector are various, but of course agriculture is one of the main sector. And yes, avocado is one of the best products that you are exporting in Italy.
I agree. So are all these the trade sector, is it within the embassy itself, or is it?
Is the headquarters in Addis Ababa, but
Okay.
we have a specialist here, and we are opening a main office here. So in the next months, who is interested can contact the embassy or the trade agency website. And of course, we are there for support business and growing trade exchange between these countries.
Spice.
Otero, this is Double O Direct on SpiceFM every Saturday from 10 a.m. Got some Beyonce, but I'm with the Italian Deputy Head of Mission, Madame Lorenza Gambacorta. We are discussing women, culture, diplomacy. And let me tell you, Lorenza, nimenona sana. Do you know what that means?
No, not yet.
It's been the Italian Food Month in May, and I've been eating too much Italian food. You know what I realized? Your courses are different, because when I went to Italy and they served the pasta, I ate the pasta. And I thought, wow, this is great, we're done. No. Then they brought the meat and the potatoes. So the pasta was like an appetizer.
So is our first main course.
I like how you say our first main course. How many main courses do you have?
Of course, but the pasta that you normally try is that you do abroad is that you make abroad is very heavy, let's say. We eat pasta almost every day, at least once per day. And but you see, we eat pasta with vegetables, not really with sauce or cream, and this is not our style.
Yes.
So our diet, it's very, very healthy.
Yes.
And of course, the Mediterranean diet is called because we have a lot of vegetables. We use a lot of fruits. We have some main proteins from fish, especially from meat, and of course carbo. Is one of the healthiest in the world. So if you see Italian people, they look quite good, right?
They look amazing. Let me tell you, I went for the Italian Food Month event at Art Cafe Rapta Square, Art Cafe Market Rapta Square, and we met several Italians. And most of them looked very, very good. Can I send some shout outs?
Okay.
Can I send some? No, I'm not going to send some shout outs. What I'm going to do is ask you about the importance of culture and diplomacy, in your opinion.
Yes, culture is really supporting all the main job you are doing at the embassy to really link bridge and build bridge between people. And of course, then you start from culture, and who knows where this will go. Cultural activities are key for entering in a society, but especially entering connection with the society. So when you discover more about other people, another culture, another society, then you also are contributed to more Pacific relation, and culture then for Italy is quite important.
Give me some examples.
No, but in the sense we are one of the main countries recognized for. When you think about culture, then definitely I think worldwide you think about Italy. At least you think about Italy. So, and we have supported, let's say, culture all along our history, from the beginning to the passing to the Renaissance, and the recent modern culture also, music, arts, you really fashion design, you can find everything under culture. So it's a very comprehensive word that will here in Kenya, for example, we normally organize a cultural week in October, because it's organized worldwide at the same time. Then, of course, we have a culinary week in November. But this year, in this many events that normally we organized in the past were stopped because of COVID. Now we are retaking our cultural program, and we decided to support the Italian months at Our Cafe. Because they have a market where you can find many Italian products, and it was an occasion for us to start celebration for our National Day, that is on the 2nd of June, just after your also festivity. So we started in May with this month to bring Italy closer to Kenyan. Although you know a lot about Italian culture, Italian food and wines, but we wanted to push a bit that and restart the cultural events with some specific initiatives. And so we had one VIP event, but also where you were able to taste some Italian food and wine. And then also we hosted also at Rapta, we hosted in their canteen a specific event for sommelier and food and market managers of hotels and restaurants in Nairobi to just discuss about wines. So we started sort of wine talks. Of course, Italian wine talks, and we had a very nice conversation and topic with the ones that are deciding what is the wine list in the main restaurant you have around in Nairobi. There are many, so I must say it was an interesting journey that will now end on the 2nd of June because it's our National Day. And for that event, we have also, for that occasion, we have also organized a Italian festival together with the Italian national representation here. Is an organization that group the Italian national living in Kenya. We will have a festival at the village market from the 4th to the 6th of May. And June, yes, June. And so there will be some Italian products to showcase and some Italian music. We are bringing a band from Italy that also will play at our National Day. And then we will have also an event on the 11th of June for Italian kids, because we will talk about what is our National Day and what is about, what is Italy, how we reach that stage. So you see, sometimes when you are abroad, you really miss connection with your home country. So we thought it was nice also for kids to understand that a bit more about and to learn a bit more about Italian culture. So these are our next events, and then of course in autumn will be full of events. So follow us at Italy in Kenya. This is our hashtag you can use in all our social media, and you will get much more information what we are preparing.
Have you tried ugali?
Yes, but also in Uganda it's quite common. It's not called ugali, but it's very similar.
How does it compare to polenta?
They are quite similar.
Yes.
It's not that different. Okay, we cook in a different way, and also I think we are a bit more creative on the on how you can use polenta or ugali in several dishes. And now also many very high-level restaurants use that as a base for very delicious dishes.
Yes.
So I invite you to be a bit more creative with ugali, because you will be surprised what you can do.
Without naming any specific restaurants, what has been your impression of Italian food offering in Nairobi? I know you've only been here since November, but what do you think? Because I've been to several Italian restaurants.
And the quality, I must say, is very good. Now I will allow me to do a joke. I was with the ambassador
Spice
once, and somebody asked the same question, and he was very diplomatic because of course he has more experience than me. And what he replied, the best restaurant in Nairobi is my house.
Let me tell you, Lorenza, I completely agree. His Excellency made me a dish. We were filming him cooking, and I always said, Your Excellency, if you ever decide that this diplomacy thing is not for you, I will open a restaurant, right? We can go into business together. So I agree. The best restaurant is the Italian ambassador's residence, and we are waiting for our next invitation.
But I'm also a good cooker, I must say. I like cooking, and you will be surprised.
how do you manage? I know we're almost running out of the time, but how do you manage the work-life balance? Because you have your children here, you are, the deputy at the mission, and there are so many events. I saw you at so many events recently. For women, it's always a bit different because we have a second, sometimes a third job, How does it work for you?
It is not easy as all the women in the world. So the balancing the professional side and the women's side, the family, is quite challenging. But okay, here you get help, of course, but it's not easy. But this, I think, should not prevent you of what you would like to do, because then if you are not happy with what we are working with or in your sector, then it will not bring happiness also in your personal life. So I think whatever job that you take, you need to do because you like, not all the other aspects that maybe it's common to take into account. So my particular job, it's very challenging for families because you really move all around the world and you change always country, so it's not easy. But if you do because you like, then it's rewarding.
Excellent. Parting words from Lorenza Gambacorta. If there were just 2 or 3 sentences that you want to leave people with, what do you want to leave them with?
Okay, first of all, follow us in our social media, because we are getting much more event and interesting things. Also, then our projects, what we are doing, and then Karibu.
Spice.